The purpose of these interviews is to ascertain the process by which stories are selected, station priorities for content production quality, and population served, perceived station bias, perceived percent of news dedicated to each of the 8 critical information needs, and perceived responsiveness to underserved populations. Perceived. 888-788-9910 is my phone number here. The FCC knows it. Let's see if this is the FCC on the line, wanting to set up an appointment to come and watch what I do. Bobby in Los Angeles, is that you with the FCC?
I am in Los Angeles, but unfortunately, no, I'm not part of the FCC. I wish I was, though. Then I can be famous and be on your program as a guest instead of a caller. That'd be great.
Oh, okay.
But actually, I do support this, and I'm surprised you don't support this, because then if they were going there and interviewing all the broadcasters and journalists or whatever, wouldn't that make you happy? Because then they can prove in your conspiracy theory of the media being controlled and brainwashed by the liberals?
I don't have that conspiracy theory, but...
Yeah, you do.
Well, I think there's certain media operations that are liberal.
But don't you?
But I don't think the government has any business poking their nose into it. You've heard of the First Amendment, haven't you?
No, I have. I've heard of lots of things, but I'm saying, you just to make sure. I want to make sure I understand. You don't believe that most of the media has a liberal bias and they're brainwashing us?
I do. Brainwash. I don't like. Come on, that's a pejorative term. Do they have a liberal bias? Yes.
Okay, so you believe in the conspiracy theory. I don't know why you...
I don't know. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's an observable fact. Just, try reading a paper or watching television.
Let me rephrase it. Can I ask you this then? When someone says most of the media, whatever your definition of the media is, everyone has different opinions. When someone says most of the media has a liberal bias, is that a fact or an opinion?
Well, what media? I mean... Most of the radio media does not. Most of the internet media does not, or at least there's a lot of conservatives that are on the internet and on radio. But if you're talking about broadcast television or major media institutions like the New York Times, Time Magazine, etc., the answer is yes.
Oh, on the one hand, I'm happy that you pointed out and didn't just create a monolith. That I respect that. But why do you always say, and why do many people on the right say the media? Why don't you?
They talk about the mainstream media. It's shorthand, but look.
They talk about Hollywood comedians and all.
Oh, that's huge. I mean, that isn't even arguable. I mean, give me a break. Hollywood is as liberal as it can get, and for a fact, unless you're hiding under a rock, if you show your hand as a conservative in Hollywood, you're going to be drummed out of the core. Talk to Gary Sinise about it. All right, more calls. 888-788-9910. Why wouldn't I want to study?